So this morning's really just us checking in on what you're doing and you kind of clarifying what you've got to do. We're going to do the presentations this afternoon from 2 o'clock, or sorry, 2:30?
2:30 start.
Yeah. We don't have an order yet, but maybe we'll make one somehow. Maybe we'll just do it in order of the group numbers, maybe. You're one, are you?
You're number one.
So there's a few things. So today I think what's really important today is that you kind of clarify, you tie up any loose ends in your 30-second pitch and your 3-minute thing. The time is really important. So today is about making sure it happens. You can do it in 3 minutes. You know? So editing, saying, oh, do we need to say that? Does the image we've got already tell that story? You know. So work out what you need to say and what the presentation is saying for itself. In terms of formats, what we'd like to do is we want to gather all of this content that you make, so the 30-second pitch and the 3-minute longer explanation, you know, the longer project plan explanation. And we want to gather that in some format that we can share back to all of you so that you can all have a record of each other's work over the last few days, along with all of the slides that we've shown just in terms of a method. And what we'd like is for that to sort of be a bit of a pack that you can use and then you can adapt in your own ways for your own work going forward. So we've shown you a handful of methods. There are many, many methods. You can plug those into that, change it, change the terminology, work with different ways of doing it, which you need to do depending on where you're doing this kind of work. You know, different contexts will require different approaches. Maybe have a think about how you'll present that so that Naveen can film as well. Yeah. So and maybe you need to bring a table and have a table or something like that. Yeah. So anyway, so the running order for this afternoon will be that you'll do your pitch, 30 seconds. That's like the pitch. And then we'll do the 3-minute longer project explanation. So each group will be, you know, I think it's probably a turnover of maybe 5-7 minutes between each group. I think maybe a little bit longer because there'll be questions, I guess.
Yeah, and I would encourage that you all have, like one group responds to another group as well. So there'll be 5, maybe maximum 10.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing with the 30-second though, you'll want to, if you can have a title slide that is separate for that, it can be a holding slide for your performance or whatever later, but some sort of title slide that can be diagrammatic, infographic, but not a paragraph. Okay, everybody, we're about to start. I need one volunteer from each group to stand here. So 7 volunteers, it's just one person from each group. You only have a very simple task. Right, so just some housekeeping, ground rules. As you already know, you're going to do a pitch, then a 3-minute presentation. The rules there were The pitch is already the introduction to your 3-minute talk, so you're not re-explaining anything there. We've got a very hard time rule, so do not be offended if we ask you to stop. And of course, the key question, who is going first and in what order? So, hands up if you're right-handed. If you're right-handed, that's definitely the majority. This is the right hand. Well, if you're facing, let's go this way. Let's not cheat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 1. Say your number. 2.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So that's your number, and that's the order you're going to go in. You have democratically decided that yourself. Okay. Well, look, first of all, can Chari, Liam, myself, thank you heaps for everything you've done the last few days. When you wrap up an event, it's actually really kind of tricky and hard at the end of something to like remember all the thank yous, because there's a sort of, you know, the joy of finishing and then noise and people are rushing off. So I'm going to do that right now. So thanking you very much. Thanking our tech guys. Thank you. Thanking my colleague, obviously Liam, who's been the brilliant diagrammatic person also. And the biggest round of applause, of course, for Chari, who's brought us all together. So thank you so much. We've really had an absolute ball. I'm sure we will say something to that effect at the very end, but I just want to make sure I've ticked all the boxes there. So, and again, one last thanks to you guys, really amazing, before we boo you at the end. Joke. So, yeah, let's get going. So, 1, you remember your numbers? So take your seats.
Make sure you tell your team mates when you're on.
And look, there's one extra very special thing I need to say, which is I know you might feel anxious or concerned, nervous, whatever the word is, about what you're doing. But here's an example of what I'm going to say not to do, okay? When people are presenting, please pay attention. Very basic ground rule of respect. I'm not criticizing anybody or anything in that regard per se, but at this moment, we've come to this point. We've had all the energy and participation and conversations and noise and fun. It's all good and important part of it, but for this particular moment, we're going to be attentive, because part of the co-design process, the collaboration, orientation, the being with people, not doing to people, is about attentiveness, you know, and holding space for listening and emergence. So you're all going to present and you're all going to be attentive. Fair enough if you're still tapping away in a computer for final technical glitches, that's okay. But no talking, just attentiveness, okay? So just thought I would say that. Group 1, and probably best if you use the microphone.
Good afternoon, everyone. So our topic is Pahiya. Commuting within educational campuses in India has evolved significantly over time, from ancient pathways to modern vehicular traffic. Traffic accidents on educational campuses in India are increasingly pressing issue. While much attention is given to preventing accidents, the care received by the patients after such incidences remain a critical yet overlooked aspect. We will be looking forward to the cases of such examples and how we have gone through the study about the same.
Beneath the sunlit arch of learning's gate, a river flows where footsteps navigate. Students and scholars, staff and friends, a current of lives where the campus bends. But rocks lie hidden in shallow streams where hurried wheels disrupt gentle dreams. A cyclist swerves a distracted stride, the river's peace fractures with the tide. Yet we plant a bridge where the waters divide, safe pathways woven with care as our guide. Zebra stripes glow like moonlit trails, bike lanes ripple where courage prevails. When storms strike, a skid, a fall, we mend the banks where the wounded crawl. Healing hands cast a lantern's beam, and hope flows steady as a quiet stream. For this river strength is the roots we grow, first aid kits tugged where the billows bow. Counselings whisper in the rustling reeds, and justice that anchors where compassion leads. So let us chart this waterway clear, where safety and care hold all we hold dear. A campus that carries both journey and scars, a river of light reaching beyond the stars.
So we basically tried to show you how the campuses would look like if we simply plan things in a very nice way, in a way that it should have been planned. So we tried to, we'll keep it very short, we'll try to map things how it should be if everybody walked, there was no vehicle traffic, in the spaces where you experience the campus the most. The moment you enter the campus, the moment you interact with your friends, whether it's a cafeteria, whether it's the places where you keep on, moving around, the playgrounds, things like that. Now, if an incident happens, whether you are from the academics, you're a student, you are from the fraternity, how will you react to such incidences? The sense of empathy towards such incidences is crucial. The thing that we know as golden hours, the 30 minutes from the time that you met an accident, how does your respondent respond? Because much of these cases can be resolved during these times. So these are basically the renders how it should have been. And then we tried to map out, there is a short story that we would like to tell you. Next. Yeah. So this is the story of Geet, who is in a very small town, and she's cycling around her neighborhood, and then she falls down. And the moment she falls down, she knows all the people around her because it's her neighborhood. The idea of knowing the neighbors gives you a sense of care. The care is very immediate in those cases. The moment she moves to a city, a college like these, and she faces situations when she is at a district level, then how the situation changes. The care is there, but it's delayed. And the moment she moves to a district level, then the situation is much worse. So the moment we talk about care, the places matter, and so do we. Thank you.
Thank you for not being offended.
No.
Can I just ask, did you improvise to an end there?
Yeah.
Well done. Well done. So that was a really good model of how you might do a presentation as well. Not only was it, fun and creative and beautiful.
So hi, we are Bayam, and this presentation is basically an invitation for students to collaborate and work on this project with us, so that we can truly be Bayam, which means us, we in Sanskrit. We want to focus on the experiences of first year students from tribal communities that come to IIT Delhi. We want to do research, we want to play games with them and find out what is lacking, how we can bridge the gap and make them feel more comfortable in the space, more equitable, and basically through participatory design practices, we want to figure out how we can build more intimate spaces for them to connect with each other and also the rest of the community and build that connect with the rest of the college. So yeah, thank you.
So this is one of the huts or the embrace cottages that we were talking about, and what we see in front are the hug dolls. What we see here is a baggage, and there's something that we've written, hug me dolls. Are you missing someone, my dear friend? A cup of discussion or just breath of familiar air? Come sit here, take a moment of pause. unwind the chatter that's been there for long. Are the thoughts of whom recurring in thy mind? Or has this space been alien all this while? My arms are wide open here. Would you want to whisper a silent prayer? Leave your worries outside this space. Your cocoon of warmth here awaits. But while you sit, have an open heart. There might be someone else too with a heavy heart. Pause, reflect, and recharge to pursue the purpose you're here for. But before you bounce back to the mundane, make a promise to hug me, a fellow, or yourself every day.
Just to elaborate on this map here, so in terms of future ideation, the dolls represent the Hug Me dolls present at the map is of IIT Delhi, so just a rough ideation where all of these would be present and how available it would be to all the students there, and it helps, and just forcing the rough prototype with huts and local tribal signages to bring in the inclusivity.
Also, we're thinking of, we're kind of elaborating on the scope of the project and what kind of design projects can come out of this. So we were thinking of contextualizing the space. So kind of linking stories of people to the spaces. So if, for example, there could be a virtual map and someone visiting or a student can look it up and realize, okay, this student from my community all these years ago did this here and now they're doing this, and kind of linking those two stories to their physical spaces, and kind of trying to, the macro aspect of this is trying to prompt a shift in collective conscience and like building a new culture where everybody feels more included, heard. Yeah.
A familiar space.
A familiar space, yeah.
Yeah, home away from home, and also reinforcing the idea of how an idea does not stop at one point and it's continuously evolving. So while all these prototypes would still be present, the data would still be collected every day continuously, and that would lead to continuous evolvement of the project itself. So maybe today it's about tribal kids, but later a new issue comes up and that could be involved in this as well. So
A collective repository of human experiences, and especially for the tribal students, because they entwine their stories in the form of their life, everyday life, in terms of their costumes, in terms of their songs, the folklores, and life.
So an account of oral history as well, so that's always there. And not only will the projects be evolving constantly, the scope of this space will also be evolving constantly. So that's something to look forward to. So thank you.
Welcome to the voice of IIT Delhi. I'm Krunal, and today we're talking about something workplaces often ignore: emotional well-being. Google has been leading the way in making mental health support accessible, stigma-free, and part of workplace culture. Joining me is Anika Verma, Director of People and Culture at Google. Welcome, Anika.
Thanks, Krunal. Excited to share how we tackled this.
Okay, let's dive in. Tell us, where did Google's journey start?
We realized that emotional well-being challenges change at different career stages, so we structured our approach accordingly. We started with the early career stage. This stage is all about excitement, but also anxiety, new roles, new expectations. We introduced buddy programs and career guides to help people settle in. Then we tackled the mid-career phase. That's where burnout creeps in. Stress from promotions, leadership pressure, work-life balance. We brought in career coaching, stress management workshops, and even AI chatbots for instant support. Then comes the phase of major life transitions. This is where things hit hardest: marriage, parenthood, personal loss, career shifts. We updated policies, flexible work schedules, better leave options, and even financial aid when needed. And then the most sensitive phase of late career. Many employees worry about losing relevance or adjusting to retirement. We set up mentorship programs and financial planning support to help them transition smoothly.
That's a solid system. But awareness matters too, right? How did you get people to engage?
We ran bold campaigns, posters, social media, workplace workshops, even songs and films. On the tech side, we built chatbots for instant emotional support 24/7 therapy platform with strict confidentiality, AI stress monitors built into work tools. Shout out to our tech team here, by the way. We did this all in a very short time thanks to them. And we also tackled mental health taboos like therapy is for the weak, and this will hurt my career. Or talk to family, not strangers. We normalized seeking help, just like going to the gym for physical health.
This is all incredible, Anika. Final question. What's your advice to other companies?
I'd say start small, but start now. Listen to employees, build trust, and integrate well-being into company culture.
Powerful message. Anika, this was such an insightful conversation. Thank you for sharing Google's journey and for leading the way in workplace emotional well-being.
Thanks, Krunal. It's been great talking about this. The more we normalize these conversations, the better workplaces will be for everyone.
That's it for today, friends. If you found this valuable, share it. And let's make workplaces healthier. See you in the next one.
Okay. I've got two questions. How much did Google pay you? And B, how much AI was in that?
All of that was AI. Pictures and all sound bites were all AI.
Yep. Thank you.
Was it Google LM? Google LM?
So,
hi everyone. Our design theme for today is what is normal. Normalcy is behavioral confrontation to socially accepted regulations. For example, X uses labels carelessly. You mad, spastic, bloody psychopath, act normal. The receiver is negatively affected. What is normal and label sensitization drives are put in place. There is a change of communication. No assumptions about normalcy are made. That's all for the pitch.
As you have seen that being normalcy, so we have identified various activities so that we can educate and share the awareness regarding the normalcy. So first, we define the problem. So what is the problem, right? Then after that, once we identify the problem, we started the next activity, which is conversation with the target audience, right, on one-to-one basis. So this is based on two sub-activities, open-ended questions with and another is the closed questions. Next activity we plan is the research. So based on that, we'll do the research, primary, the secondary, that what happened with whom and how we resolve these issues. Next activity is workplace workshop drives and various sub activities which plan in these activities. Like these drives can be educational drives in offices, corporate, government sectors. After that, we will do this visual communication. In that, social media, some reels, some movies, and in printed, we paste some flyers, some pamphlets, some standees on the places. Then the next is counseling session. This counseling session with the victims on the one-to-one basis. After that, we plan some interactive games and app so that we spread the awareness about the normalcy. So this is the various activities which we included to the normalcy. Thank you.
Thank you everyone. So just to summarize in 1 minute, 1 second actually quickly, we are studying what is normal, what is normalcy, and we're conducting it through these various activities. So that's all. Thank you.
About a third of young rural India struggles to have career path that leads to good life. Introducing to you Saksham, an NGO aiming at enabling and equipping secondary and senior secondary school students through an innovative program of change, which has 12 powerful initiatives that augment what government's existing schemes and programs already provide. So bringing together an entire ecosystem to collectively drive this change. Come, let's join hands. We now bring to you the story of Pinky. 14 years old, studies in 10th standard, very sincere and hardworking student, dreams of helping people around her and in her village to be in good health. Her apprehensions: will I be able to become a good doctor? Will I have any language barriers? Will my family be able to afford the education and the preparation expenses? And I'm afraid of failure in entrance exams. She has a lot of apprehensions.
Just hold up.
Yeah.
It's fine.
After seeing Pinky's struggle with her doubts, her teacher introduced her to Saksham. Saksham is basically an NGO which was already discussed by my colleague. And in Saksham there are 3 initiatives that can specifically help Pinky. So we'll move to initiative Chaya. Chaya is basically a shadow your future. In this, Pinky get an opportunity to understand what it's like to be in the field of medicine. So if we talk about, she can work with a doctor, or she can stay with a doctor as a shadow for day 1 or a week, just to see the real environment and to understand what a doctor can feel. Now, let's move to the
So
second
now
initiative.
Pinky has understood and she has a career choice. But the problem is how to go about. So here comes another initiative, that is Sahyog, which will aid in the understanding the avenues which are present, as well as they try to connect that avenues with a student, that is Pinky, so she can choose whichever is better for her in terms of financial aid, government schemes, as well as mentorship programs which we can have. Once understood that she can have a career choice, there is a path ahead which she can choose, but she will just needs to understand that belief in me is not important. The Pinky realizes that she should be a ripple effect for her family and community to come together to work out these avenues. So a program which is Jagruk, which will help in increasing awareness along with the culturally sensitive tools, social medias and programs, so that the family, community and all the stakeholders come to a decision where it is collective, so to provide a quality education and also inclusive type of education for a future.
In this way, Saksham aims to bring together an entire community of students, parents, educators, government and other partnering organizations to evolve, enhance and execute the initiatives of Saksham and bring a better life to Pinky and more like her.
Just be. Soft abuses often mar what should be a joyous classroom experience. Personal remarks, snide comments, partiality, and power dynamics, these seemingly surface interactions cause deep negative impacts that hamper the learning process. SOMIA works with all stakeholders to address soft abuse in higher educational institutes through awareness and sensitizing to reach positive faculty-student interactions.
So the sources are upbringing, socio-cultural backgrounds, ignorance, ego and desire of power, which is a societal imposition around the institutional campuses. The 3 stakeholders which we will be talking about is students, educators and management to a holistic sensitization of the issue itself. So in this project, the students will be having certain objectives around access, support and conducive environment, where anonymous systems, supporting networks and workshops will be provided to have that healthy environment, which will have a significance on the overall community of the students, wherein the activities for managers would be listening, monitoring, addressing and policy development with all, where it would be happening in a 360 feedback system, overall cultural climate surveys, and policy development programs with a positive impact on the entire culture. So in the project plan, we have phased it in the 2-semester program, where semester 1 talks about certain activities around for students, educators, and managers, where it has anonymous system, support network, educational workshops, training programs, policy development program for managers, and certain training programs on biases and behaviors for faculties. So all in all, the overall goal and socio-cultural objective around this project is to have an awareness, agency, equity, and kindness through Soumya.
Good afternoon, everyone. And today we would like to discuss for the safe life from their diabetes. And nearly half of the Indian population face the diabetes, is making it the public health concern condition. And the insulin regulation is crucial for prevention. Raising awareness can help diabetes, and the individual knowledge and strategy is ensure that better than outcomes and improves their life. So along with our project title, our is the future perspective is awareness, policy action, and then sustainable health.
That was our pitch, and we now move on with the presentation. So we are proposing. Hello.
No, other way down.
You were on. Yep.
Yep.
So we are the project. Our project is very much based on co-designing the preferred future, and these are the co-designers of Save Life from Diabetes. So from experts to policy decision makers, families, different members of families, seniors, parents, children, young adults, cooks, teachers, school, college, workplace, canteen, workplace, human resource division, food influencers, sellers, market, CSOs, healthcare providers. This is our spectrum. So let's start the journey of co-designing this future and reaching each stakeholder in their own spaces, in their place. A journey of discovering a relational, situational way of creating a solution or exploring. Let's not forget that something like COVID, the awareness and information about something like COVID was gathered by a complete nation or complete world in a very short period of time. Similarly, UPI is something which has succeeded so well in our country. There has been awareness and mobilization of something which has been party to that. So based on that, these are the various activities that we are envisioning for experts and decision makers, national level symposiums to validate the concepts and also to find alternate pathways. Families to create awareness and dialogues. There are very non-intrusive, self-paced tools that we are proposing, from quizzes to audio, video, television, popular medium, everything. Next, please. For teachers, food sellers, and we have shown few very real life situations so that the whole thing becomes a little more relatable for all of us here. So teachers, they would play a very significant role because they are the one center point for the students. CSOs reach out to many stratas of society. Food sellers have a very important role to play because that's where we get our ingredients and food, everything from, and market. Then the next slide. Food influencers, people are following a lot of food influencers with very high fan followings of millions and crores of viewers. They have a very significant role to play in this spectrum. The cooks who come and cook in our households, and they refer to YouTube videos very much now. So through that, if we can also create awareness and let them participate in this campaign, a 360-degree campaign, because we want to be there. So a 360-degree campaign to save life from diabetes.
Just before we wrap up, so just some, I mean, it's interesting exercise for James and I to sort of think about how we do this, particularly given that we're used to doing things where it's students and they're being evaluated on, like through a course, like many of us who are educators or students are used to. So it's nice being in an environment where we're not actually doing that. I think there's been some fantastic kind of learning here, and it's, first time and it's a bit challenging, and it's 4 days and you don't all know each other, and then you have to do a project. So I'd just like to congratulate you all on how well you all managed that, how you managed to pull together and do that bit of work. And hopefully some of these methods and processes, and even just the way in which you worked out how to engage with each other in your small groups or the bigger group, is something that you can use in design projects with people later. So yeah, so well done. That's it from me. Congratulations.
I've said enough.
To James. Final words.
Yeah, I think Liam's losing his voice.
I am losing my voice a bit.
No, all I will say in addition is thanks, really. It's been a pleasure working with you all. I hope you got some joy out of working with each other. It was absolutely for fun and for your own self-reflection and learning. I think some of you may probably well go on and can keep working with those ideas. If you keep connections and work with each other on those ideas, even from a distance, amazing. But that's not why we did this. It was really about what you can get from working with each other and feeling supported to work with each other so that you can feel you have ways of supporting other people to work with each other. So that's it in summary. And I feel I just have to say, wow, I'm amazed that you were brave enough to introduce AI to the presentations. But yeah, you've all been amazing. Thank you so much, and keep in touch with us. There's means of getting in touch with us, and
except for LinkedIn, I don't do LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Or Instagram. Email's all right.
Yeah, email works. You'll find him on the internet. He has a different hairstyle,
Yeah.
as you notice from here. Yeah, the only other thing I was going to say was, if you're ever in Melbourne, please don't, be scared to get in touch. So thanks a lot, everyone. Well done.